This is the plaintiff, Philip Collins. He says he hired the defendant to install 13 windows in his home, and he only installed 4. The defendant said he would return to install the others. Weeks and weeks went by before he returned, and when he did, the windows he ordered didn't fit. The guy's a hack. He had to find someone else to finish the job and is suing the defendant for the return of the $1,400 he unfortunately paid him. This is the defendant, Dan Ruiz. He says he installed 9 of the windows, but the last 4 came in the wrong size. He measured the openings 6 times. The manufacturer made a mistake, and the plaintiff lost patience and didn't allow him to finish the job. Bottom line, he did a lot of work for the plaintiff and isn't giving him a refund for anything because he did his job right. He's accused of being a real pain.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff hired the defendant to install windows, and the job was a mess. The defendant says the manufacturer made the mistake. It's the case of you and your windows are a pain.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Collins.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. You hired Mr. Ruiz to fix some windows. What were you doing? Installing brand new windows?
Replacement windows.
Replacing the windows, and with brand new windows.
Yes.
And how many windows were there?
13 in total.
And what is your profession? Are you a handyman or what?
No, roofer and contractor.
Roofer and contractor. Are you a licensed contractor?
Yes.
Okay. So what was the agreement between the two of you about what you were going to pay him?
The agreement is, have it right here.
I don't understand the agreement. Because one place it says $1,300, another place it says $1,700, and another place it says $1,240. What is this trying to say? I have no idea.
Okay, $1,700 was the price of the windows.
Okay.
He had to give me the money because the company Lang Windows.
So he was paying for the windows themselves?
He was.
All right. And then what do the other figures mean?
The original price for the installation of the windows.
Was $1,300?
Yes.
And did that change?
Yes.
What did that change to?
Well, it's not even signed, you know. We never got to that point. He just gave me the money for the windows.
Okay, so how much were you charging him to install the windows?
He reduced me down to $80 a window.
Which turned into what, $1,140? $1,040?
Yes, 10.
1040 then was going to be the labor for all of the windows.
Yeah, then he had a meeting with me. He took me outside before I started, and he said he missed a day of work the day before. He wanted to reduce it down for his day pay.
Wait, why would you pay him for his day of work?
I didn't come in the day before.
Ah, so you failed to appear on a day you were supposed to.
No, there was nothing written.
But he thinks there was.
Yeah, right.
And he took a day off, and he wanted you to pay him for the day off. In other words, take less. All right, so let's start with you. So you enter into an agreement that you're going to pay him $1,040 for his labor. And what happened?
I paid him half.
The $520. That's everybody's in agreement that $520 went from there to there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the windows come. It's his job to pick them up. Is it his job to pick them up or your job to pick them up?
He was supposed to pick them up, but I agreed to pick the windows up since I work in the Chicago area at times.
Okay.
So I agreed to pick them up to alleviate the cost to work with him.
Okay, so you go to pick them up, and you bring them to the house, and then he starts installing. How far does he get?
They installed 4 windows originally.
How many windows did they install? Only 4?
Yep, 4 windows the first day.
First day, and then what did they install the next day?
He didn't. That's the day that he didn't work that day.
Okay.
And then I want to say it was a day or so after that he installed the other.
Were you home?
Yes, I was home.
All right, so, and that next day, how many windows did he install?
He installed the 9 windows. He installed
9 more?
6 windows. No,
6
it was
windows.
6 windows.
So he installed a total of 10 windows.
Yes.
Correct? All right. And then what happens?
And then, because when he installed the windows, this is before any caulk with stuff was put in. So he puts the caulk in because there was a gap in there.
Sure.
And then he puts the caulk in, then he doesn't show up again to finish. He has the 10 windows in, but he doesn't finish any of the caulking, and so there's a gap actually in our house. He would caulk parts of the window, and then he would stop. And then in the photos, we actually have...
So we would just go from window to window, caulking different parts and not finishing it?
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's what actually happened. Then he caulked in different colors. He has black caulk, white caulk, and gray caulk.
And are you there while this is going on?
Yes, I was actually
Are you
inside.
saying anything while this is going on?
I mentioned to him about Mr. Dan. I want the gray caulk on the outside. And the white caulk, on the inside.
What am I looking at in this picture?
That's where they cut out the windows with a saw, and that's where they're supposed to come in and do the touch-up paint.
And is that the caulk that he put in there?
Yes, that is.
Yeah, that's a terrible caulking job.
That's the caulking right there.
That's the black that you're talking about? What's that about? What's that?
That was a dark gray butyl.
Yeah, but why? He doesn't want that. He wants it to be the color of his house. He doesn't want some big black splotch there, right?
Well, that's what it is. That's what the guys were doing. Maybe they grabbed the wrong one. I spent about $140 on.
Why would anybody spend? Okay, if you spent $140, then only the right ones should have been purchased. Why is that there?
I'm not sure. Maybe that's what one of the guys put on. And it was raining a lot.
Okay, are you there or are you not there?
Yeah, I was there.
Right. So, and does he complain or does he not complain when he sees that?
No, he never did nothing. Never said a word.
Okay, but he's there when this is happening, and he's complaining now, and I would complain the minute I saw that. Nobody wants a black.
So would have I. I would have cut it right out and put the right color.
Okay, and the caulking doesn't look like a great caulking job either. Who have you got doing this? This looks really not that well done. Is this on the inside?
Yes.
What's that?
That's the gap where it's fed. He caulked some of it, and that has the gray caulk on there, and that's the gap in there.
Is the caulk shrinking? Is that it?
No.
What is it then? Because part of it shows caulking, and then the other part of it
looks like that section wasn't done, that little piece.
Oof. I mean, I know that's close up, but, you know. What's happening there?
It might have shrunk there a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a lot of rain every day.
Yeah. Ugh. That looks terrible. Can you see that, or do you want to get closer?
No, I can see it.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right, is this one of the windows that's supposedly done?
Yes.
Okay, so now tell me what happens. It turns out that 3 out of the 13 windows are the wrong size.
Yes.
How did that happen?
In his contract with Lang Interiors, it's stating and showing that how, and he signed the agreement right here that they're supposed to be the width and size that they are, and then if they're not, that he is responsible for any type of changes, and they're not going to pay for any other changes.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let me ask you, what happened that the windows were the wrong size for 3 of them?
So if the windows are the wrong size, can the customer sue the contractor, or do you have to go to the manufacturer? The manufacturer is the one that screwed up.
Well, I feel like the contractor should have known that the windows weren't going to fit if they measured everything.
Right, but the contractor didn't know until the windows were actually there. So it's the manufacturer's fault. Is the contractor responsible in terms of the customer suing?
The manufacturer is responsible,
Not the contractor.
not the contract.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I asked for the right size for all of them, I believe. And after that, he picked them up. Whenever we pick the windows up, we always measure everything out before we take anything. Then we're not responsible.
I have no idea what you're saying. If you order the right size, they have to provide the right size, period.
No, they
So
don't.
whose mess up was this? No, they don't?
I'd say Lang's.
Okay, then why wouldn't you go fix it with them? Like, you're the one who placed the order, right?
Right.
You're the one who measured.
He picked them up.
It doesn't matter that he picked them up. Imagine that he is an Uber driver who you sent with a U-Haul to go pick him up. It's not on him. It's on you. Why didn't you fix it?
Yeah.
Or it's on Lang, the company you hired. So it's up to you to fix it. What is going on with that? Are you not making any effort to fix it? You're looking at the customer and saying, it's your problem. You didn't measure everything before you picked it up for me? That's what your answer is?
He paid for me. He brought him in. He wanted to do everything his way.
I'm sorry. You ordered him, and it's your name on the order, right?
Right, and he paid for him, and he brought him in.
He gave you the money, or he gave them the money?
I gave Lang the money because they would
That
not
he
take it
gave
from him.
you?
Right.
Right.
He gave it to me.
Right. Sir, seriously, I want to know what your position is. You think the homeowner's responsible for fixing the problem with the people you farmed out, that you bought windows from that are the wrong size?
Oh, no, we could have talked it over and then purchased 3 new windows,
Why do we have to purchase 3 new windows? Why can't we take the 3 wrong windows and say, Lang, you messed up?
They're custom made. They were not.
Listen, either they were custom made incorrectly because you measured incorrectly, or they were custom made incorrectly because Lang messed up. Which is it?
Lang messed up.
Then they're returnable. You see?
They won't admit it.
Well, then it's your problem. That is not his problem. Now, let me see what you're suing for. Amount owed for 3 windows at $120 a window. And then you are also suing for, of the $520 that you paid him, you want $240 returned to you for labor, all right? And then you want lost wages at $150 for $3 a day. How are you gonna get that? What are you talking about?
Well, I normally make $150 basically a day for my job.
Right, but how are you going to prove that there are 3 days that you lost because he had appointments with you and he missed 3 days worth of appointments with you?
That's if he would tell the truth. That would be the best way.
Did you have set appointments that you failed to appear 3 times?
No.
Okay, how are you going to prove it? All right, so that's gone. All right, so let's go over what damages you've been able to prove here today, okay? One of them has to do with the product itself. 3 windows that you paid for that you can throw out now because they're not the right size. He did the measurement, he placed the order, and he's done nothing to attempt to have that returned. So I think he knows that that was probably his fault. That's why he hasn't made the slightest effort. Whatever the reason is, that is going to be on him. So that's a pure $360 because you gave him the money in cash for the windows. That's $360 for the windows. The next issue is the workmanship. So let's talk about that. You had agreed to pay him $1,040 for the entire job.
Yes.
Okay. From that entire job, we are going to deduct $240 for 3 windows that didn't get put in, right?
Yes.
Okay. That leaves us with, you now owe him $800 for the job. From that $800, I believe that you should get some money back because someone is going to have to come out here, paint, repair, and recaulk, and whatever. That's about, you had asked for $300. I'm going to make it $280. Okay? If I do that, then that brings down the work he did, because the work he did has some value.
Yes.
That brings down the work he did to being only worth exactly $520, which is exactly what you paid him because you only paid him a 50% deposit. So basically, the money you haven't paid him is a wash with the money that you would get back if you had paid him full, giving me the complaints you've given me. You follow, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I am ordering then that you do not have to pay him the remainder of the money, which he's not even countersuing you for, and I am also ordering that he has to pay you for the windows that are a loss, $360, net judgment in favor of the plaintiff. That's my verdict.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Rez, the plaintiff does not owe you any more money. Do you understand that?
Yes,
You understand
I
what
do.
the judge said? Step over here, please. Let me ask you what you think about what the judge decided.
I think she was real thorough, did a great job.
She did a great
Yeah,
job. Yeah,
awesome.
But you know, she did a great job because you didn't do a good job.
Right.
Your workers did a lousy job.
Right.
You agree?
No, not really.
You did while you were
'Cause
looking
that
at
was
the
his
windows.
pictures, you know, there was more to it
Yeah,
than that.
but they look bad. The
Well, they might have-
caulking was terrible.
Yeah, but caulking could have been taken care of, you know.
Could have been, but it wasn't.
Right.
It was done wrong.
Right.
You agree with that?
Okay.
So the job is over. You're not going back to
Right.
him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
You're a very agreeable guy. You really are. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Didn't look too good for you in court today.
right. Okay.
You understand that
Right.
too. Okay. Good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a great day.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Collins.
Hello.
Now, okay. Now, you okay with the outcome? You don't owe him anything more.
No, sir.
Your job is done. I mean, but you don't owe him any money. But now you got to hire people to come out and correct things.
Yes.
And you got to buy 3 more windows.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So what you going to do? You're not going to hire him, I bet.
Well, now we already have someone in the process to
You
finish
do.
the windows and complete everything.
Okay. So you feel better.
Yeah.
Worth coming to court?
Well, worth getting the job done.
Okay. Well, hope we get it done right.
Yes.
All right. Good luck
Thank
with
you.
you. Thank you very much. Okay. That way.
Thank you.
Harvey?
Okay, couple of things. Number one, usually the contractor is on the hook. Customer can sue the contractor can then go after the manufacturer. Secondly, the contractor, even if the job was messed up, the contractor can still get paid for the work that was still done properly. This is not an all or nothing proposition.